If you are working full-time, saving money, avoiding debt, doing everything right, and still feel like you're falling behind, it's not because you're bad with money. It's because you were never taught the actual rules of the financial system. And the rules matter because the system doesn't reward effort. It rewards positioning. And if you're positioned wrong, you can work for 30 years and still feel stuck. Let's start with something most people misunderstand. You probably believe money is scarce. You probably believe banks take deposits and lend that money out. You probably believe saving equals safety. That's the traditional story. But modern money doesn't work like that. When a bank approves a mortgage, or a business loan, or a corporate credit line, it doesn't go into a vault and hand someone existing cash. It creates new money digitally. With a keystroke, that loan becomes an asset on the bank's balance sheet. The deposit appears in the borrower's account. New purchasing power enters the economy. Money is largely created through lending. And that changes everything. Because when money is created faster than productivity grows, the value of each dollar adjusts. That adjustment is inflation. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. Inflation is not just prices rising. Inflation is your purchasing power shrinking. It's your effort buying less. It's your savings quietly losing strength every single year. You don't feel it immediately. But over a decade, it's massive. Now ask yourself something. When new money is created, who gets it first? It's not you. It's not wage earners. It's large borrowers, corporations, governments, asset buyers, investors. They receive newly created money before prices fully adjust. They use it to buy assets, real estate, companies, stocks, infrastructure. As more money enters the system, asset prices tend to rise. By the time that money reaches everyday earners, prices have already moved. That's why it feels like you're running faster just to stand still. The system expands upward first, and inflation moves downward later. Now, here's the part that really flips perspective. What are most people told to do? Work hard, save money, avoid debt, be responsible. That sounds wise, but in an inflationary system, cash sitting still is slowly shrinking. If inflation averages 3-5% and your savings earn little to nothing, you are losing ground quietly. Saving alone is not a wealth strategy. It's a stability strategy. And stability does not compound. Ownership does. Let's talk about debt, because this is where people get confused. You were likely told one simple rule. Debt is bad, but that rule is incomplete. There are two very different categories of debt. Consumer debt, credit cards used for lifestyle spending, car loans on depreciating vehicles, financing things that don't produce income. That kind of debt drains you. It consumes income. It creates payments. It increases fragility. But there's another category most people never separate clearly. Asset debt. Debt used to acquire income-producing assets. Rental properties that generate cash flow. Businesses that produce revenue. Investments that appreciate over time. This type of debt, when used correctly, produces income. Debt that consumes income is a trap. Debt that produces income is leverage. And leverage is one of the most powerful tools in wealth creation. The wealthy do not avoid debt. They avoid bad debt. They use structured debt to acquire productive assets. Why? Because they understand how the system expands. If money is created through lending and inflation pushes asset prices upward over time, then owning appreciating assets positions you near the source of expansion. This isn't about conspiracy. It's about incentives. The structure of the financial system rewards asset ownership. It rewards those who control productive resources. It does not reward people who hold idle cash long term. Now let's zoom out and look at the real loop. Step 1. New money enters the economy through loans. Step 2. Loans are used to acquire assets. Step 3. Assets generate income or appreciate. Step 4. That income is used to acquire more assets. Repeat. That's a wealth loop. Assets create income. Income buys more assets. Ownership compounds. Now compare that to the average loop. Work for income. Spend most of it. Save what's left in cash. Watch inflation reduce its power. Repeat. One loop accelerates. The other stalls. And here's the psychological barrier. Most people avoid learning about leverage entirely because they've only seen debt used poorly. They've seen credit card disasters, car repossessions, financial stress. So they conclude, all debt is dangerous. But refusing to understand leverage in a debt-based monetary system is like refusing to understand gravity. The system itself runs on leverage. Corporations use it to expand. Governments use it to finance. Investors use it to scale. If you remove yourself from ownership and leverage completely, you stay downstream of expansion. And downstream is where inflation hits hardest. Now let's be clear. This does not mean borrow recklessly. Leverage without discipline magnifies mistakes. Bad assets plus debt equal disaster. But productive assets plus controlled leverage create momentum. The shift is not emotional. It's structural. Instead of only asking, how much can I save? You start asking, what can I own? Instead of fearing all debt equally, you separate consumption from production. Instead of focusing only on income, you build systems. Because income requires your time. Systems do not. In a system where money expands over time, asset ownership compounds faster than savings alone. Saving matters. Liquidity matters. Emergency funds matter, but they are foundations, not engines. The engine is ownership. The engine is productive assets. The engine is positioning yourself closer to where money flows first. Once you understand that money is created through lending, that inflation dilutes idle cash, and that assets appreciate within expanding systems, you stop playing defense only. You start playing offense. You stop thinking like a saver, and you start thinking like an owner. The financial system isn't designed to destroy you, but it absolutely rewards those who understand it. And it penalizes those who operate on outdated advice. If you want to build wealth systems instead of just surviving paychecks, subscribe. Because next, we're breaking down exactly how to build your first income-producing asset system step by step.